Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on this edition on Correct Me If I Am Wrong. Okay. Hope everyone's having a good, prosperous, and blessed day. Just wanted to the original segment that I was going to do was talking about this truck emissions and the things that truck drivers have to face when it comes to the DPF systems in trucks, the pros and cons of getting them deleted, how you can maintain your system, and how you can actually preserve your trucks for years and years and years to come. Because I was always one of those ones that had been taught, like, once your truck reaches a certain mileage, you would want to get rid of that truck because you're eventually going to have DPF issues, your NOx sensors, your not your air filters, but your filters, your one box, and you're going to have $20,000 in repair costs and things of that nature, if not that, even more. So I wanted to dispel some of those myths from the things that I have learned from a shop called the DPF Guys. They're located out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they actually have the number 5 ranked shop in the nation as far as emissions and things like that for trucks. They work on all types of trucks and the DPF systems for it. They replace one boxes, filters, and things of that nature. And the actual owner of the company and I have developed a pretty good relationship over the course of time, and he has really educated me on how much money I've actually thrown away by getting newer model trucks. My philosophy was, once my truck reached about 400,000 miles, it was time to get rid of it before I started experiencing problems. I may as well get rid of it, get me a new truck with the full warranty where I don't have to deal with those issues. And he's shown me the light, and there's another way to handle things like that, where your truck can last 1,000,000 miles and things like that or more. So we're going to bring that show to you at another time. Uh, we're going to reschedule that particular program because it's still something I think is going to be very, very beneficial for us drivers. But what I want to talk about now, guys, is this. Um, I wanted to actually talk about some of the services that Ellick uh, Logistics offers for truck drivers and for dispatchers. Okay. Um, Let me try to give you a little understanding or a little background into what Ellick Logistics does, who we are, and how we're different from other companies. Okay. Um, Most of you guys see me, and it's in connection with the logistics side uh, of our company, of Ellick Enterprises or Ellick Holdings. So there's different companies that are under the Ellick brand. Okay, there's the food and beverage section. So there's restaurants and things like that that is owned by the company. And then we have EBSI, where there's outsourcing and things like that that have done. And then there's the logistics industry. There's the entertainment industry. So the company is involved in a lot of different business ventures. Okay. But what makes us different when it comes to logistics is that we're able to put a lot of those resources, a lot of the weight and the power that we have in being able to be the leaders in technology, um, that it puts us ahead of the game when it comes to things like dispatching and getting into the restaurant business. Because the gentleman that actually built the company, that's his background: IT, technology, innovation. So that's his background. That's his calling. And my calling is logistics. So by us combining our knowledge and by us uh, uh, collaborating together, we have created the ultimate package for the logistics industry. And it affects not only truck drivers, dispatchers, brokers, but anyone that has an interest in getting into the logistics industry. Okay. Let me actually do this right here. Hold on. Okay. So let me. Okay, let me get this prepared. Let me grab that real quick. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about, guys, was how our way of leading in the industry, how it's going to affect truck drivers, and how it is also going to affect dispatchers. Okay, so let me get kind of in the screen I need to get in. And like I said, I hope everybody's having a good day today. I hope everything, is working out. Um, it's Saturday for us in the US, and that's a day where a lot of brokers, shippers, um, and different ones are off today. But at Ellick, we don't take any days off. That's one thing about us. We are a 24-hour operation, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Um, we don't take any days off. Okay. So let me get this where I need to get this, and let's get ready to roll with it. Okay. All right. So a little bit about what we offer um, truck drivers. We offer truck drivers our dispatching service. So if you're a truck driver and you allow us to dispatch for you, you are guaranteed to be getting the top of the line in dispatching services. I'm not just talking about uh, from a agent. I'm not just talking about from a dispatcher truck driver relationship type of thing. I am talking about from a technology perspective. Okay. And I have come to learn since working in this particular industry that a lot of drivers aren't maximizing their financial potential because of technology. And a lot of drivers don't understand how technology affects the industry. Okay. But what we have done, we have made it, we have simplified the process. And once a driver wants to retain us for his dispatching service, okay, what we try to do is not just find you loads. Okay. We try to put you in the financial bracket or the financial position that you're wanting to be in. So most drivers will tell you that, okay, I don't want to move my truck for anything less than $3 a mile. Okay, fine and good. So that basically means that if you do it the old school way, you're going to have to get a good load, and then you're going to have to sit. You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to play the cat and mouse game all the time. Okay. You're going to have to play the negotiating game all the time. Where what we do, on the other hand, is we try to split things up for you based on where you want to be financially within a quarter, or where you're saying, uh, I want to make per month, what I want to make in a quarter, what I want to make in a fiscal year. So we try to develop plans. What makes us different? We try to strategize according to that. So that gives us more room to work with as dispatchers. Okay. That gives us a better opportunity, because you got to be realistic. As a driver, you have to be realistic, and you have to understand where the market is at and where it's trending to. You can't just ignore the things that are going on in the world around you. You can't ignore the things that are going on with the economy. So you have to operate according to where the market is heading, not just where we're at, where it's projected to be. Okay. So that means your dispatcher has to keep up with trends. Your dispatcher has to keep up with things that are going on in different parts of the world. Your dispatcher has to understand how that affects rates, how that affects fuel, and how that's going to have an impact on your overall uh, financial situation. So that's what we teach our agents here at Ellick Logistics. So when we bring someone on board with our company, okay, it's not just we hire dispatchers. We don't do that. We actually take our dispatchers through an extreme training process. Okay, they actually have to pass the CDO test, the same exact test, the entry level driver training course that all truck drivers have to take now. Since February of 2022, all drivers applying for their CDO have to take and have to pass entry level driver training course with a minimum score of 80. We internally require that our agents pass it with a 95. Okay. So everything, that's the first step we do. We need our agents to have a knowledge of the trucking world. We don't want agents behind the keyboard that just push buttons, that just give truck drivers instructions and have no understanding or no idea of what a truck driver is experiencing, what he has to go through on a daily basis. So what we actually do, guys, is we teach our agents that are only dispatchers. Now they're in charge of dispatching, but we teach them the CDL course. They have to take the same exam that a truck driver has to take, word for word, question for question. They have to take that same exact exam, pass it with at least a 95% score, where the FMCSA only requires an 80. Okay. So that's one of the things we do to ensure that our agents, when we bring them on board, first of all, are knowledgeable. First of all, they have to pass the test or they cannot work for us. That is a mandate set up by the owner of the company. You have to take the test, you have to pass it with a 95, or you can't work here. Uh, because he believes that's the first step. That's the basic step in understanding a truck driver. Okay, so that means pre-trip, post-trip inspections, all of those things. All of our drivers got to know about that, know how to do it. They got to understand DOT inspections. They got to understand maintenance reports, hours of service. They got to understand all of that stuff. So our agents are not just people that are barking orders, giving you loads behind a screen, behind a keyboard, and not understanding what you have to go through as a driver every day. That's number one, why you want somebody like us dispatching for you, because we have invested in taking the time to make sure that if they don't have the knowledge that you have, they don't have a right to be dispatching you or giving you loads. Okay. Number two, guys, is that we have combined technology with our dispatching service. Now, most dispatching companies have their internal systems, or they have software that they have purchased, that they have used, that they use to dispatch truck drivers, whether it be ITS, TMS, or whatever the case may be. Well, we have our own custom built CRM and things like that that we house on our own servers. We don't have anybody else hosting anything for us, housing anything for us. That are our IT personnel. We do everything in house. So we have our own IT department. We have our own quality control department and our own production department. So when you, as a truck driver, okay, make the decision to allow us to dispatch for you, this is what happens. Our agents, first of all, every call that our agents make is monitored here internally. So we not only give them the training, we make sure that they are following the training. That's where our quality control department comes in. And immediately, if our agents are not following the proper procedures, proper protocols, if they're not satisfying you as the truck driver, then we have to pull that agent in and try to redevelop that agent, and see where they're going wrong, and see where they can improve at, as far as getting you, the truck driver, what you're looking for. Um, that's another thing that makes us different. That makes us 100% different. So we don't just train somebody, put them out there, and entrust that they're giving you, the driver, everything you need. No, we monitor the process. So they're monitored by our quality control department. Then our production department is there to make sure that they're hitting the numbers and the metrics that they're supposed to. So if our dispatchers, okay, are hitting our metrics, that means you as the truck driver are making money. Because one of the things that they must do, if they're talking to a broker, this doesn't apply to a shipper, okay? Because normally when a shipper gives you a rate, that's the rate. Sometimes there's room for negotiation. It depends on the level of communication and the relationship you've built up with that shipper. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say 8 times out of 10, the rate comes from the shipper. That's the rate. But now, when you're dealing with brokers, that's a whole nother ball game. There's always room for negotiation. Some brokers will give you their flat rate. Their rate is the rate they're not moving on it. Some brokers are like that. Very few. There's room for negotiation. And if our agents are not trying to negotiate a better rate, then we know it, because you know why? That's built into our CRM. That's built into our internal structure, our internal system, where we're seeing everything they're doing. Okay, our quality control department is seeing everything that our agents is doing. So if an agent's offering you a load, okay, it may be for a posted rate on the load board, and they've got to negotiate that rate. So they have to put in our CRM into Eli, the posted rate that they saw. They have to put in also the negotiated rate that they're asking for. And then they also have to put in the final rate that was accepted between you and between the broker and themselves as the dispatcher. And so if they're not getting more, we're going back and we're monitoring those phone calls to see why they're not getting more money for the driver. What's up? What's wrong? Are you not asking for it? Or when you're asking for it, are you letting the broker back you down and back you into a corner? Because as dispatchers, we train our dispatchers to operate from a position of strength. If the broker don't want to budge, let's try to look for something else. But we're not going to let the broker hold our drivers hostage and mandate that we take a significantly lower rate when we know that the market is dictating something else. Now, if the market says it is what it is, then it is what it is. And we still try, but we have more understanding as far as why we can't get sometimes a better rate. But a lot of times, people just don't ask. A lot of times things don't happen because people don't open their mouths. And my father always taught me, he said, boy, a closed mouth never gets fed. So we teach our people to operate with confidence and ask for the money. Okay. And to do their due diligence to search. So, and we rely on a variety of factors, guys. We rely on relationships with shippers. We mainly rely on our relationship with brokers, and we also use load boards. Some dispatchers want to act like they don't use load boards. Come on, they use load boards. Come on, all of us do. It's just if you know how to work those load boards. So we train our agents how to work those load boards. And these load boards, guys, have a lot of tools on them. They have a lot of tools on them, and they can do a lot of good, but you got to know how to use the tools that are available on these load boards and how to do the analytics. And we teach our agents how to do that. Our agents go through a rigorous training. And like I said, even after the training, there's more training. There's always training here every day. And that's what makes an Ellick company. I don't care if it's in entertainment. Uh, our company owns clubs. Our company owns restaurants. Our company owns music studios and production companies and has an entertainment division. Our company, we have our hands in a lot of different things. Our company has vendors and outsourcing uh, models in Mexico and parts of the Philippines and in parts of the US. We have a presence in a lot of different industries. But if it's an Ellick company, one thing I can promise you, we operate from the front, not the rear. So we try to get ahead of the curve no matter what. And now we're in logistics. A lot of people, I ain't going to say a lot of people, but some people, we're ruffling the feathers because we're changing the game, because we're innovators. We're applying technology to what we're doing. And we're applying a lot of labor and a lot of resources to what we're doing. So that's why we're able to offer the truck driver a variety of services from uh, if you're needing help with route planning, knowing where tolls are, things like that. When we dispatch for you, we automatically know how much you have to pay in tolls. Do you know most dispatchers don't give a damn about that? That's your problem. But we take that into consideration when we're dispatching you. That's immediately one of the first things we bring up, is that our drivers have to pay tolls, man. We have to look out for our drivers because our drivers have to pay tolls. So when we're asking for more money, we're doing it with the purpose in mind that our drivers, are going to incur a lot of costs. So when we're route planning for you, we can see what you got to pay in tolls. We can estimate how much you're going to spend in fuel. So we automatically know if that load is worth it for you. And if it's not, it might be a situation you're stuck somewhere and you need to get out of that particular area. And you don't have any choice but to take something that, even if it's below market value, well, we'll tell you everything we can about that load, not just what's there on the load board. We're going to tell you, okay, there's tolls on that route. If you go this certain way, you're looking at $120 in tolls. You're looking at an estimated $400 and some dollars in fuel. That's going to be your fixed cost, plus or minus. Do you know how helpful that information is to the driver? Do you know how many dispatchers do that for you? I drove for 10 years. I didn't have one that ever did that for me. I not one ever did that for me. So we try to go the extra mile because this division was built by a driver. Okay, understanding what a truck driver has to go through. We try to give you all the facts. You make the decision. You take the load. You don't take the load. But we try to give you, if there's tolls, if we try to tell you there's tolls, how much they are. If there's, we try to give you an estimate of what you may spend in fuel. Now, most of you guys know about fuel and how much it's going to cost you to go a certain mile, certain amount of miles. I do per se, but you also need to know the terrain and the area. So that makes a difference in your mileage and the rate you're going to get on your fuel. So that's the different things we offer to the drivers. That's what makes us different. When you allow us to dispatch for you, we do not break the bank with you. Now, we go according to industry norms, but you're getting the service. You're getting people that have been trained. You're getting an account manager that you're not just getting a dispatcher, you're getting a team. Because if you're not satisfied, there's a whole team. There's an account manager that you can shoot an email to. You can always shoot an email to me and say, hey, are there any better loads out there? I am not getting the type of loads I'm looking for, or I'm getting good service, but I still see that I'm not hitting my rate per mile. Then we're going to try to open up and find out why you're not getting your rate per mile. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that it's all the time something we can do about that. The market is what the market is, guys. And that's what drivers don't want to accept sometimes. the market. You can't just always think about the present. You've got to be looking at world events. What's going on in different parts of the country? What's going on with oil? What's going on with trade? Uh, what's going on with the ships that are in the ports? Are we backed up out there? Are the freight, you've got to know people that drive from the ports. If you That's one of the main things that's going to tell you where we're about to be, is the activity that's going on in and out these ports, man. And fortunately, we have relationships with actual drivers that drive in the ports, that hear things, that see things, uh, so we can kind of pass that information on to our drivers. Okay. Um, so hold on, let me take a look at something. Okay, we're good on that end. Okay. Uh, Hold on, guys. Let me take a look at this. All right. Okay. So that's what we do for the driver. Now let's go on and talk about what we do for dispatching companies. Okay. Now, a lot of people that know me personally know I've been in trucking a while, and I've not been it as long as some people. I've only been a driver for 10 years, or in the industry for 10 years. But in those 10 years, I feel very good about the accomplishments that I have made in the strides I have made personally and from a business perspective in the industry. Hold on, let me go here. All right. You don't have to be in something forever to do better than the next person. The next person is where they're at for a reason. They may be stagnant, they may be have made their mark a long time ago, and they're writing off the success of that name, or they may have been doing it so long that they're no longer adaptable, they're no longer uh, willing to change. And that's where a lot of companies are not feeling the measure of success that they should be, because you have to adapt. You have to adapt to the changing. uh, That's in life, period. You have to adapt to anything, right? So technology, man, doesn't stop for anybody. So, since that is the case, let me tell you how we're able to help other dispatchers, and how we're able to uh, help other companies build their businesses while we are dispatchers ourselves. Okay. Keep in mind, every Ellick company wants to be in the front, not the rear. We watch the markets, we watch the trends. We see where things are going. We see the difficulties that other companies are having. We look at that and try to see, is there any way we can change that we can fix that? So we we learn first. We become students first. We learn, and then we see how we can do something different, how our technology can make us better. Like I said, again, we have a complete IT team here. I don't mean just one or two people. We have a complete IT department. And the actual owner of the company, keep in mind, that's his background. That's his thing. That's what he does. He builds programs from the ground up. He builds programs for companies like AT&T. He builds programs for financial institutions. He builds programs for major conglomerates in the United States that has their businesses. Okay. So these companies approach him and they tell him, this is what we need. This is what we want you to be able. These are the metrics we want to hit as a company. So when a company like AT&T comes to him and they say, okay, these are our numbers. These are what we need you to hit. These are what we need you to do. They entrust him to build a program to figure out how to achieve those objectives. So that's where we're at now. If companies like AT&T, if financial institutions, if major institutions uh, in the financial realm and in other organizations can trust us, then why can't that's why we come to you with these things in logistics, to the truck driver, to the dispatchers, because we know these major brands trust us with their accounts and to build their business. They don't trust us just to be uh, to just work for them and things like that. They entrust us to build their business, to build their clientele. And then once we help them build their business and build their clientele, to service that clientele. So we also provide service after the sale. So this is why I love working with, I don't work for, I work with this company. This is why I love it so much. And this is why, I just drives me to put my everything into it. So when that, and so let's push that over into dispatching. How does the way we approach uh, things, and how does our uh, uh, technology and our capabilities help propel dispatchers when they're trying to grow their business? Okay. First of all, when you're dispatching, it takes more than a headset, more than a computer, more than a laptop to get it done. Okay. And it even takes more than having clients or truck drivers to dispatch to get it done. You have to stay organized. You have to follow up on leads. You have to follow details, and you have to develop a line of trust with the truck driver. You cannot let details slip in order to maximize his earnings and in order to maximize your earnings. Okay. Keep in mind the things we build programs for companies. Okay. We built our own. We built our own from scratch. Our logistics profile, our company, our CRM, the way we do things, what's in our dialing system and everything. See, we don't just do it old school way. We don't just have a cell phone, a headset, a laptop computer, and just start dispatching drivers. We try to find the most efficient way to do that, and the way to and do it in a way that's going to bring us financial gain. Okay. And organize with it, and not just be able to do it ourselves, but to be able to give this model to someone else, or to hire people and they do it the same way we do it. Okay. Uh, so let me give you an example. All right. Let's give you an example, guys. And I'm going to share my screen with you for a minute. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if, hold on, guys. So let me, let's see here. Okay. Let me move this logo out the way. All right. Here's an example, guys, of our dialer. Okay. And I'm going to do more of a detailed demo of how our dialer works. Hold on 1 second. Let me get where I need to be. So this is an example of our dialer. Okay. So our dialer can be either automated, or you can manually input the numbers you want. And this is so helpful when it comes to truck dispatching. Okay. This is our dialer that belongs to Eli. We don't have anybody else. That everything operates off our servers. This is Eli. Okay. And that's why I say technology and the things we're able to offer to dispatchers make the world of difference in the proficiency and the way your business makes money. Okay. So and first of all, though, this dialer will only work for you if you put the information in it accurately. Okay. So any information about your driver, uh, his name, address, and things like that, you need to be able to put into the dialer. So what happens is, anytime you need to communicate with that driver, or anytime that driver calls you, when that driver calls you in your system, Boom, that driver's information pops up. You're not having to search for it. It makes everything so streamlined. It makes things so easy, so simple, so efficient, where it saves you time and it saves you resources as well. You don't have to go through another area and look for this and have 5 and 6 different screens up on your on your laptop, and you operate in a more professional, efficient manner. And that's not just for you as a dispatcher, that helps your driver. The quicker you can help facilitate loads and find him loads and keep him moving, negotiate the prices you want for him, or the prices he wants, or the rates he wants, the more you're offering a genuine service for him, and he's going to tend to stay with you versus even entertaining the competition out there. Okay, you got to keep in mind that as a dispatcher, that truck driver has a thousand dispatchers or 1,000 people he's begging, that are begging him to, hey, let me dispatch for you. Hey, we can offer you this. We can offer you six. They'll tell him all kind of damn lies. First of all, we can guarantee you 6 to 8K a month, a week, and all this BS that they can't back up, just to entice him in, just to take, more than the 10%, just to have a hidden fee for this, a fee for that, and hook you up with factoring companies to take all your money. And it's just a horrible experience for the driver that has given them such a horrible taste till they hate dispatchers, they hate brokers. Okay, you have the opportunity to deal with us and be different. I don't care if you've been dispatching 20 years compared to my one. If I'm going to show you something right now that you think is going to help your business, you need to at least give me a phone call, or you need to give me an opportunity, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM and say, okay, I saw something about what you guys are doing that I like, that I think can help my business. Tell me more. A lot of problems with people that have been doing this for so long is that they look at someone that's just coming into the industry and they boo boo on them. They automatically think, they just poo poo on them. They automatically think, oh, they don't know anything. I've been doing this for so long. Man, listen, if you're not up on technology, if you're not seeing the different ways that you can improve your business, and sometimes it takes new blood coming in to show you that. No one can take away your years of experience. No one can take away, it doesn't devalue what you've done to the industry or what you bring to the industry. You're just being smart. You're just staying ahead of the game. You're just looking at somebody that does things a little different from you, and you're trying to see how I can incorporate that into my style that I have already. How can I make that work for me as well? So technology is what we do, guys. This stuff, and I have to I have to get with the IT department. I have to get with my partner. I have to get with different people and get them to explain this to me. And when I started seeing all this, they started showing me all these things. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, why have I never seen this before in all my years of driving and things like that? And definitely big time dispatchers and brokers don't want you to see the things we're showing you, and they definitely don't want us offering these services to you, because these are services that are generally not affordable by most people in the public. So it keeps the few being able to do it and others not, because they can't afford to invest in programs. They can't afford to invest in the technology. So that keeps them up here and keeps you down here. No, we level in that playing field. Okay. So if you look at my dialer here, this is how I call my drivers. This is how my drivers call me. So when they call into the dialer, once they call, all their information will pop up. Okay. Uh, for instance, let me try to make a call and I'll show you what I mean. So let's call my cell phone, 871-0465. So no one's going to answer because I'm not there. Okay. But my cell phone, this is how I do everything now. If my information was here, everything would pop up, everything would populate, including the notes that we had from our last conversation and things like that. So once I hang up, I will put the appropriate indicator here of the call. What happened on the call? Was it? Did I get an answer machine busy? See, notes is what you need to be able to do the proper follow up. Okay, that's what's very important. In order to do the proper follow up, you need to put in accurate notes and then let your dialer work for you. Okay. So these are, so let me say that I just did a test call. Okay. All right. So now I'm back to my dialer. Now, once, if I had put my information in as a driver, once that driver, and I would have left a message on that driver's answering machine, once that driver calls me back, then guess what? All that information comes back up to me. I don't have to go over here to a Word document or an Excel file or, some type of external means to find out everything I needed to know. I'm able to get it right here. Okay. This is why this is so beneficial to you as a dispatcher. We make it to where you can afford to do this. Any chat, I can do an internal chat with my other dispatchers if I want to, or my dispatching team, or anybody that I have working under me, whether it be an admin agent, my sister, my brother, my husband, anybody that I need to keep an internal note with, I can do it within the system. I can also chat back and forth with the customer up here. So we can do all of this through the dialer, folks. I can email, I can create a form that can go out. There's so much I can do through the dialing system itself that we offer to our dispatchers. Okay. And this thing can work marvels for your business. We can get you 800 numbers. We can make you as professional as you want to be. We can get you 1-800 numbers. We can get you domains. We can get you emails. We can do all that. Why? Because we are at the front of this. We're not at the rear. So we're not just up here selling dispatching services and packages. We're putting you in the best position to succeed. Okay. So if you'll go to our site, theperfectdispatcher.com, if you actually go to our site, you will see the different capabilities that we're able to offer the dispatcher. You will see example. Let's go to the tab that says work from home dispatch. Okay. In that section, it tells you everything that we teach you when you get our dispatching service. It tells you everything we teach, every subject, every particular thing we teach you. Okay, hold on for a minute. Let me reply back to a potential customer that is looking at this. They have some questions. Hold on. Let me make sure I have time to address this for everybody. Okay. Hold on. Yes, we do. We can offer this to you. Let's see if we can actually do this in that area. Let's see. Let me look that up real quick, guys. Give me a second. A lot of people are having a lot of questions, and I haven't been addressing them because I'm doing the live. So now I got to try to address these questions while I got to get it while the getting is good, like T-shirt said. I can give them the appropriate answer. Okay, I'm trying to give them the appropriate answer while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so what do we teach in our dispatching course? First of all, our dispatching course is not the cheapest course, and I don't want it to be. Cheaper is not better. You get what you pay for. Always remember that. Sometimes you run up on a real deal, and it is what it is. But any dispatching course that takes the time to train you in a classroom setting, that takes the time to put together videos, PDFs that are pertinent to what you need to be as a successful dispatcher, they're not cheap. If you go to a college or a university to take this course, it is not cheap. we have put the same type of curriculum together, the same type of thought, the same type of, we offer you one-on-one training. We offer you all kinds of things. We offer you face to face, just like you're seeing me now. You're able to go over all of our training in a classroom type setting with one of our agents, and they will teach you what is an authority, what is a broker, what do they do. So when you get our dispatching course, this is what you will learn, and this is what you will learn from us. You will learn what is a broker, what is a dispatcher, what are their duties. You will learn what is an authority, the different types of trucks and trailers, accessorials, what are those? The hours of service, we'll go over that in depth with you because that is something you need to understand because it will affect your dispatching life. How to use load boards, how to find the right freight. There's a part one, there's a part two. We use different types of load boards. Those are just a few. You have DAT, you have truck stop, you have 123, you have trucker path, you have direct freight, you have TQL, you have so many different load boards out there. It takes multiple boards, guys, multiple brokers. It takes, you cannot get one load board and be a successful dispatcher. You cannot get two load boards and give your drivers, and honestly say you're giving your drivers the best out there. You have to have multiple. Okay, you have to have 4, 5, 6 load boards that you're working from. You have to have a list of brokers that you can call, that you have relationships with, to try to help negotiate the rates that your drivers need. We talk to you about the different type of load boards. We talk to you about TWIC cards, why it is valuable to have TWIC cards, and encourage your drivers to have them and what your drivers can do with them. We talk to you about hazmat loads in your training. We go over oversized loads and permits, legal state lengths, heights, and things like that. We go over carrier setup package. That's very important to getting your driver the maximum amount of brokers that he could possibly deal with. You cannot limit your driver to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10 brokers. You have to spread your driver out there so that he has less downtime as possible. The more brokers that you can get linked up with your driver, the better. Drivers, remember, if you're sitting still, you got to ask your dispatcher what's going on. Ask your dispatcher how many brokers do they have you linked up with. Ask your dispatcher questions. Make sure that your dispatcher has you linked up with as many brokers as possible. Get a number. Is it 5? Is it 6? Is it 7? Is it 1? Is it 2? And you'll come to find out that your dispatcher is only relying on a few brokers that they've developed relationships with. So if they're only relying on a few, then that broker knows he can bend that dispatcher over backwards. You know, okay, that dispatcher is dependent on me, so I don't have to budge off the rate as much as I want to. No, you have as many brokers at your disposal as possible. We teach you about rate confirmations, how to properly look at a rate confirmation, how to make sure that everything that you and the broker have discussed is within the frameworks of that rate confirmation. That's very important because the broker is going to pay you according to what's on that document. Okay. Bump what you heard, or bump what you talked about. It's what's on that document. BOLs and PODs. We teach you how to accurately be able to look at BOLs. That's how we get paid. That's how you get paid as a dispatcher. That's how your drivers get paid. So those things have to be accurate, filled out correctly, and have the pertinent information. If your driver is looking for detention, layover, then all of that information as a dispatcher, the driver has to have it in there. But as a dispatcher, you have to reiterate to your driver that, okay, now you're getting ready to do detention. Make sure you have your in and out times on that BOL. And if preferably, if you can have somebody sign that, have them sign it so we can help get your money on detention, layover, and things like that. Proofs of deliveries. We teach you about that. Additional charges such as detention, layover, truck order not used, TONA. We teach you how that impacts the driver and what you need to do as a dispatcher to try to get as much money as you can for your driver based on those circumstances. Okay. Invoicing and factoring companies. We teach you invoicing and how to properly submit invoices. Factoring companies. We teach you about factoring, first of all, what it is. There's a lot of things people have heard about factoring, but do you know the details associated with factoring? Do you know the stuff that's in fine print? Do you understand what a UCC filing is that these factoring companies do? Do you understand the charge that a factoring company is going to charge these drivers almost every month, the beginning of every month, not invoice, but usually the beginning of every month? It's this little charge that they pass on to the driver. You got to be able to make the driver understand that these are things that's going to happen when they sign on to a factoring company. Or you have to make sure that you have to pass on information to them to ensure that their factoring company are treating them fairly. It's not your business. You're not obligated to do any of that. But wouldn't that be such a relationship bonding thing if you're able to do that for your driver? A lot of drivers don't know that you have to give these factoring companies, if there's an out clause at the end of the year, at the end of their 1 year contract with these factories, you have to specifically give that factoring company that notice within that specific period of time, or that contract automatically rolls over. It is pure hell getting out of a factoring agreement. Pure hell. I always tell my drivers, if you don't have to do it, don't do it, because you stand the risk of getting your DOT number just screwed. Okay. When you get a factoring company as a driver, basically what you're doing is you're giving 100% financial control of your company, of your driving company, and over to another third party, over to another company, because you must submit every single invoice through this factoring company. No matter whether it's a company that can pay you with a check, no matter if it's a company that can pay you the next day, same day, it doesn't matter. All of your invoices must go through this factoring company. Getting out of a factoring company, you have to be specific. You have to know what the language is in those documents. So we, as a dispatcher, if our driver will let us, we'll get a copy of all that. We'll put it in his file. So when that 30-day notice comes, we're reminding them constantly. When that 60-day notice comes, if they want to get out of that agreement, that 90-day notice, we're reminding them constantly, hey, you only got 3 more weeks before you must submit your request to the factoring company to end your agreement. See, we provide all that as a service for our drivers. We teach you to do the same. It's up to you if you want to do that. Those are just extra services that we provide the drivers, but we do that. It is very, very important. I'm not, some factoring companies are good. They're good. A lot of drivers have to have them, because if not, you have to wait sometime 30 days, 90 days, 60 days to get paid. Everybody can't financially wait like that. Some people need to get paid right away. That's understandable. But we as dispatchers want to try to go the extra mile and make sure that our drivers are not getting raped, okay? That they're not getting taken advantage of. We want to put them in a better overall financial position. That requires more than just giving them loads. It requires being interested in all the things they will allow you to be interested in. Now, some drivers will say, I can handle that. That's my business, things of that nature. And then that's all well good. Okay. But we're there for them if they need us to kind of handle things like that. So they can just drive. The whole point of it, let the driver drive. We'll do the other things for you. Okay. Starting your own dispatching company, we teach you how to do that the proper way, how to build the foundation, how to use a dialer system instead of getting on a phone. Boop, 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 boop. We don't do it like that. The world will pass you by like that. Or how to pick up a phone and punch it. No, there's different ways you can do it within the framework of the computer or your system, where it captures everything. It saves you time. Do you want to operate like a mom and pop, or do you want to operate as a professional dispatching company like the big dogs do, the Swifts, the JB Hunts, all the big dogs? You can operate just like they do. Why do you think they're so ahead of the game? Why do you think when they get to a certain position, they invest in stuff like this? You can't be cheap. You can work within your means, but you still have to invest in your business. You have to invest in yourself. So Technology is the way you do that, or getting partnering with a company such as Ellick is a way you do that. Okay. Um, and okay, it talks about what you get upon completion of your course. So we provide broker courses, we provide dispatching courses. We are not a broker, we are a dispatcher. But I bet you I can tell you what a broker does, what their responsibilities are, what they have to have in order to become a broker. If you want to become a broker, we can tell you everything you need to become a broker. So those are different things that we offer. Okay. Now let's move over here and talk about, let's go back and talk about the things that we offer the truck driver. Okay. When we dispatch for truck drivers, we are looking at several different things, guys, several different boards. Uh, we're looking at so many different things in order to make sure that the truck driver. Okay, let me respond to this uh, particular customer, guys. They have a question that they direct message me with. Hold on, let me respond back to this. And guys, if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to know, please direct message me. I will help. Try to answer any questions that you may have. I'm doing this podcast on this for a reason. Uh, we're here to help you. I'm going to make my money regardless. Nothing can stop me from making money because it's in my blood, it's in my genes. But the thrill that we get as Ellick, that's why the owner and I partnered up, and that's why we have such a good relationship. We're confident in what we're providing people, we're confident in the service that we give, we're confident that our people are going to do what they're supposed to do because we have the systems in check. Okay, we have everything in place. We have the quality control department that does their thing. We have the production department that does their thing. We have team leads. We have all kind of. It's just amazing how this company operates and our capabilities and what we're able to do. There again, we're taking technology, we're taking analytics, we're taking process, and we're crossing it over into logistics. And as a dispatcher, if you're not doing process, if you're not doing analytics, if you're not doing technology, you are doing a disservice to your driver because you are not giving them the maximum that they can get. Point blank. I don't care if you've been doing it 100 years. It does not matter. There are truck drivers that have been driving that I walked into an award ceremony with. I had been driving for 5 years. Five. I walked to an award ceremony with people that have been driving for 10 years. Instead of a gold jacket, they get like gold watches, gold rings to signify their years of service and things like that. I'm standing in the room as a 5-year driver with vets that got these big sleeper trucks, these big Pete's and KWs running down the road. I'm running down the road in the freight line. And guess what? I finished in the top 10 of the company, making more revenue than them. Why? There's only one reason why. I treat it as a business and I'm going to maximize it by numbers, by using numbers, and by understanding the things that impact my numbers. I can't tell you nothing about no 369 or no Caterpillar engine. I can't tell you a damn thing. What's the difference between a DD15, D13, 12? I can't tell you none of that. But I damn sure can tell you how to maximize that truck to make you six figures, double six figures in a year. You tell me you want to make 100,000, 200, 300, 400. We're going to try to develop a plan where you can do that if it's feasible. If you have the capabilities of doing it, we're going to make it happen. That's what I can tell you. That's what Ellick can do for you. Okay. So this is what we offer the driver. Okay. First of all, we offer transparency, something you ain't getting, something you're not getting from the brokers, something you're not getting from the uh, dispatchers, we offer you transparency. Number one. Hold on, let me respond to this. Let me respond back. Hold on. I gotta answer this question, guys. Hold on. That's not possible, but let me respond to it anyway. We cannot get. Okay. See, some of these drivers, man, they get to certain areas and they don't understand. We try to tell them ahead of time that okay, I can get you down there. I see what the rates are good going down there. Now getting you out of there is going to be hell. All right. So we try to be honest. We try to be so transparent. We try to be everything. All right. Transparency is the key because drivers are not getting transparency in the industry. So we offer you. There's different dispatching plans that we offer for truck drivers. Okay. There's one where you can pay $138 a month. There's one where you can pay $99.99 a month. There's one where you can pay $64.33 a month, depending on your level of affordability and what exactly that you're trying to get from your truck. Now, this is aside from our dispatching service. This is another support plan and option that we in turn provide, where if you're trying to grow your trucking business as a truck driver, uh, we'll work off a certain amount of boards for you if you want to stay on a budget. Okay, we try to put you on a budget that you can afford. There's different plans. If you want to pay a monthly plans, if you want to play by the percentage, there's different plans that we have for you as a truck driver that can ultimately add to your success. So go to our website, look at the different options we provide. Our website is the perfectdispatcher.com. And actually we have, and also guys, we offer uh, Monday through Friday. If you want to learn about dispatching, you do not have the money. There's no reason that you can't learn about dispatching with us. No reason. You might not have the money to jump into something huge, something big, because we have dispatching plans where, let's see here. Let me see if I can find them. Okay. Where is it at? Uh, let's see here, guys. Let me try to go to my. Let me try to go to my Facebook page and look for this to see what we. Okay, because all of our dispatching plans, they're not cheap. We don't do things the cheapest. I'm a firm believer in you pay for what you get. I can sleep at night if I give you a good quality service, uh, and make it affordable for you and make it a way where you can have that service. Okay. Okay. So let me share this screen with you right now. Um, okay. This is some of the dispatching courses that we offer. Okay. Let me expand that. It's the best I can. Okay. So for $699 for the dispatching course, you get the work from home truck dispatching course. You get a laptop. Okay. We send you a laptop with Windows 11, Dell, Lenovo, whatever. It's going to be nice. If I send you the Lenovo ones, keep in mind those are touchscreen. Those are very nice. But a lot of people like the Dell Latitude and the different laptops like that. We'll send you a laptop that has all of your software on it that you need. All of your programs are on that laptop. Everything you need to dispatch with Eli is there. Everything from Ellick University that you need, the curriculum, everything to be a successful dispatcher is there. So you get the work, you get the dispatching course, okay? You get the training, the one-on-one classroom training with it. You do not leave that training until you are ready, okay? There's 25 hours that come with it. There's 25 hours of training time, but within those 25 hours, we're going to make sure that you're ready, okay? So with the dispatch training course, you get the work, you get the curriculum, which consists of about 20, maybe 20 some modules, PDF forms, training videos, the classroom time. You get a laptop that has everything downloaded on it that you need to start dispatching day one. Boom, you're ready. You get a headset because you're going to have a headset to work with. You don't have to, but it makes things very, very convenient for you. That's how the world operates in logistics. It just makes it easier if you have the headset. And you get the dialer that gives you the ability to do the inbound, outbound calls. Okay. Hold on. That's a customer. Let me respond back to that. Okay. So you get our dialer system, which we showed you what that was. Okay. And you're able to make inbound, outbound calls, chat internally, chat with customers, email, the support, all of that stuff, guys. So you get all of those things when you get this dispatching course. It's not cheap, but I want you to check around to other dispatching courses and see what you get as well. I want you to compare. I really do. Our freight broker course, okay, this is kind of backwards. And the freight broker course, it's $899. And what you get with that is you get the work from home freight broker course. You get the laptop, you get the headset, and you get the dialer, which gives you the ability to do everything through your laptop, everything through a system that tracks everything for you. So when that driver calls you back, you're not searching for that. You know who that driver is the minute it comes up on your dialer. That number comes up, boom, you know it's Raymond Harris. You know Raymond Harris has a 43-foot step deck, flatbed. The last thing I talked to Raymond about the notes was, did he want to take a load from Michigan to Dayton, Ohio? You see all that when that number pops up. So when you answer it, you don't have to say, hello, you can say, hey, Raymond, what's going on, brother? You're already operating from a position of power and knowledge. That's very important. Work from the front, not the rear. That's the Ellick way. Now, if you want the dispatch and broker bundle, that's $1,050. Okay. But that teaches you in that you will be taught how to be a dispatcher and a broker. And the different things you need to be both. And the training is there for you to be both. You get the laptop, which is, as I said, comes with all the bells and whistles, everything you need. The dialer, if you choose also to get a CRM, that's in there. Everything you need to dispatch from day one and do everything in an organized, streamlined, optimized manner. You get, and then our ELDT course for those that are wanting to get their CDL, they have that opportunity as well to get the ELDT course from us. And now if you want to do it yourself, take the ELDT course online on our site. It's only $99. If you want it in a classroom setting, it's $269.35. So guys, these are the types of investments you have to make in order to be a quality dispatcher. You'll see YouTube videos all the time of how to become a dispatcher without this, without that, with only this, with only that. That's BS. I'm telling you, there's something in that equation that they're leaving out, or there's something that they're later on wanting you to buy through them and continue to buy through them and continue to do. They'll put some links in there for you to buy something else, but they'll tell you you can do it all with no money. That's impossible. It takes money to make money. Now, if you're interested in getting the dispatcher and the broker bundle or the freight broker course or the some of these courses, I'm not sure which one. I believe that dispatch and broker bundle course, I believe it comes, you can finance that one. You can put a certain amount down and you can make weekly, bi-weekly, monthly payments until you eventually got everything paid out. But you can go ahead and start the course. You can go ahead and get your laptop. You can go ahead and get your headset, and you can go ahead and start getting the curriculum. You can actually start making money from day one. This is set up to where you can start making money if you want to from day one. So that's how we have this set up, guys. And those are the prices for the different courses, the different curriculums we have. It ain't cheap, but we ain't cheap. Okay. It will give you everything you need. You will be ready to start making money. We help you all the way. We don't just, and after you're done, you're not done with us. You'll continue to get your load boards from us. You will continue to get your back office support from us. If you want a website, you will get that from us. We will build it for you. Your domain name, we will get that for you. Your email, we will get that for you. Because if you're running a dispatching service, you do not need to be using fredsdispatch@gmail.com. That's not how you work this, okay? And there's several reasons why you don't do it like that. There's a lot of fraud and suspicion that takes place in the logistics industry. So as much as it depends upon you, you want to operate from a professional perspective. Okay. We get all those things for you. You don't have to shop and do this in different places. And we make it to where you make money while you're investing in your business. If you don't make money, you don't see the need to continue to be with us, correct? So we try to make it to where we don't try, we make it to where you have everything you need to make money. Recruiting drivers, that's the hardest part of dispatching, getting qualified drivers. We have a team in place that can help you, assist you in doing that as well. We have a whole team that can do the cold calling, that can do the marketing, that can do the strategizing, and get you drivers to help put up under your business. Okay. We have all that. There's so many different options available to you if you want them. Okay. But those are the different things we offer. The main thing I think that's a big help to dispatchers is our dialer system. That's the main thing I think will benefit you the most, where you're able to do everything internal through our system. And you're able to stay organized, optimize. You can do automated calling if you want, or you can do manual calling. It doesn't matter. And you can do it all from the convenience of your system. We can get you a 1-800 number. It's not a heavy expense. It's not a cost, guys. It's a fraction cost. It's hardly nothing. It's cheaper for you to go this route than for you to go out and get a separate number yourself, or for you to get a separate cell phone. It's cheaper than doing that. Okay. How can we make everything so much cheaper as far as your after you've purchased your course? Because we have so many resources. Don't forget, I told you the owner built these things. So everything that we have has been bought and paid for. Okay. We don't have to pay someone else to do things for us. We are the man that does everything ourselves. If we want something, we build it ourselves. So we don't have to pass the added cost on to the customer. We've bought and paid for these things. Now they're ours. We have our own servers. Nobody's hosting nothing for us. We have everything ourselves. We have a complete IT department. I have a room behind me that houses our servers and everything. So we're the big dogs in the industry when it comes to things like that, because we're the big dogs in the industry in other different types of industries. Okay. There again, I will tell you, financial institutions, banking institutions trust us to grow their business and to keep them their customer base. AT&T trusts us to grow their business and to help them expand their customer base. Why can't you as a truck driver do the same? If they can do it, why can't you do it? Why can't you as a dispatcher give us an opportunity to show you what our technology can do for you and how we can take your one-man operation and make you into a entity? Okay, that's our goal. That's our goal. But there's levels to doing things. There's ways to doing things. You can't just do it on your own. You can, but I wouldn't. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. I wanted to let you know all the things that we had to offer as a service. Our company offers services to drivers and to dispatchers. We are here to serve you. To our drivers that we dispatch, we thank you so much. You already know these things about our company. Uh, and you know where we're at in our level of service as. To those of you that have decided to affiliate with us and to be our partners in the dispatching arena, we thank you so much, and we hope that that we're living up to your standards. To those that are curious about what we're doing and you want to give us a shot, you're welcome to message me. You're welcome to go to our website, theperfectdispatcher.com. Again, the website is theperfectdispatcher.com. You're welcome to go to that site and do all your research on us to look and see what we offer, and we invite you to do so. And we want you to cross compare our services with what other people are giving. Even if you have a dispatcher, look and see what else is out there. You know, you can be satisfied all day long. You're not exclusive with us if you allow us to dispatch for you. You can use our services whenever you want, and you cannot use our services. It's totally up to you. But it won't cost you nothing to give us a shot. Okay. And we don't make money if you don't make money. So, all right, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about right now. Everybody have a good rest of your day. I hope I was able to bring you something that is beneficial, something that will help you in your business ventures. Have a good day, everybody, and take care. Okay.